Jimenez and I am a published American mangaka and the creator of the manga series Sacred. In my last video, part 1 of my How to Make a Manga series, I shared some techniques on how to get your writing written, how to create scripts, and how to plan out your manga pages. Today, we're moving on to the next phase. Now we can actually draw our manga! Step 5. Drawing your pages. Now that you've planned your pages out, you can go ahead and draw out your pages. I'm using professional grade Japanese manga paper, size B4. I'll create a video on the different types of manga and comic paper and the best brands to use. Here, you'll follow the guidelines and clean up the lines of your panels. Make sure to stay within the guidelines, so try to draw everything within the dotted lines. I'll be posting a video on all the details and uses of the blue lines on manuscript paper. I also prefer using a mechanical pencil to keep my lines fine and controlled. Also, keep a kneaded eraser and a high-quality rubber eraser on hand at all times. Try not to use old stubby erasers because the oil of your fingers will corrode the rubber and cause smudging when you use it. Once you're happy with your drawing, you can move on to step 6. I do everything by hand, so I will not be covering how to use manga making programs. I'll also be inking by hand. I'll be inking the speech bubbles first. I'll be using a quill for that, which requires dipping it into India ink. Do not use quills with a ruler. You'll smear ink everywhere. While the speech bubbles dry, I'll ink the speech bubbles of another page. 10 to 15 minutes later, once the pages are dry, I'll ink out the panels using a T-square, which is like a giant ruler basically, with this nice little thing on the edge which will help you line it up with your tabletop. That way, you're pretty much like 100% certain that you'll get a nice straight line. Also, tape down your pages as well. With the T-square, use a micron 08 pigment liner. When using pigment liners, be sure to go over the lines multiple times because when you erase all of your pencil lines later, the eraser is going to lift up some of the micron ink, which will make it a little lighter. India ink, however, is the most opaque and blackest ink ever and will not be affected by your eraser. Now, I'll work on the characters. I'll also use India ink for the special effects and shading. Any of you love using quill pens as much as I do? What kind of quills do you prefer? All buildings will be done using the micron 01 pigment liner and a standard ruler. Give everything about 20 to 30 minutes to dry and cure. Step 7. Adding tone to your pages. Once everything is dry, I'll go in with a black marker and fill in any areas that I want to be completely black. You can use a Sharpie marker or a nice quality marker for this step, like a Prismacolor marker. Like I said, I do everything by hand, so I'll be using the Leader brand screen tone to add shadows and effects to my manga. I'll be using an Xacto knife to cut the pieces of tone I want to use, and a tone Hera tool to press it down to my paper. This method is still used by most mangaka in Japan today. Have any of you ever used screen tone before? What did you think of it? And will you ever use it again? And how many of you have never seen or heard of this material before? Please tell me in the comments below. I'm so curious. And once it's done, this is what it looks like. Step 8. Scanning your page and adding text. If you're self-published, this step is for you. Scan your image at about 500 to 600 dpi. Otherwise, it will be rejected by the printing company you've chosen to print your books. This is the most digital it gets for me, guys, because I need to add the dialogue, sound effects, reformat my page, and prepare my file for the printers. And after compressing my files, I'll save everything as a PDF. There's way too much going on at this point, but I promise to cover this step in depth in a future video. Well, that's it, guys. The basic process of creating a manga page from beginning to end. I hope this video was really helpful for you guys, and it cleared up a bunch of questions and whatnot that you had about the process. But of course, as always, if you have any more questions regarding this process, please feel free to ask me some questions right there in the comments below. And if you have any video suggestions on other aspects of creating manga that you'd like me to make a video on, please feel free to suggest those as well. If you'd like to see more tutorials from me, please subscribe to my channel. I update every Thursday. Also, please follow me on social media like Instagram and Facebook, where I update every day with artwork and updates on conventions I'll be going to, as well as an update on my manga. And you can also sample my manga on my site, read a few chapters there at sacredmanga.com. And if you really liked it and wanted to support it, I hope you'll visit my shop as well. I hope you'd recommend this video to a bunch of your artist friends, and I hope that they'll enjoy it as well. Well, until next time we meet on Thursday, please take care, God bless, and do not be afraid to nerd